Now, PM, Jamaica continues to shine on the world stage through culture, sports, and innovation. How will the government build on that momentum to strengthen Jamaica's global brand and deepen ties with international partners?
Yeah, so Jamaica's culture is probably the most unique and identifiable in the world. It has found its way into almost every corner of the globe, and in some way, shape, or form has influenced modern popular culture, whether it is rap music, R&B. The truth is that Jamaican culture has influenced globally, and therefore you could consider Jamaica to be a superpower island when it comes to culture. The trick is how to use this in a way that generates not just the I hate to use the term political, but it does give some access and visibility on the world stage. But how do we monetize this? How do we make this a part of our economic asset? And that has been the subject of great discussion, commitments, but we haven't actually done it. We haven't actually found a way to monetize our culture and our sports. On the individual and personal level, yes, the artists and the athletes have been able to do quite well individually, but as a nation, how do we monetize this? The first thing, obviously, is to use our culture to develop our brand. The two things are indeed not separate, because it is the achievement in culture, entertainment, and sports that have elevated the brand. And the brand does give you access to markets. So in that kind of organic way, we do benefit from our prowess in sports and our creativity in entertainment and culture. But it does call for now a more systematic approach, given the fact that the laws around these things, the IP, the intellectual property, can be claimed and used by persons who are not Jamaican. And so the government has to, which we have done as a government, created the IP framework to support that. But what we do see now is that for the culture to survive, particularly in terms of music, in terms of film, in terms of fashion and art, there are certain standards that we need to meet. We need to train our people, particularly in the technology around the production of the cultural music and art product. We need to give them a deeper understanding and connection to their history, so that our history can continue to influence what we're producing now. But so training and supporting our athletes and our musicians and our filmmakers, that's critical. But secondly, because it is now an industry, it's a business, an important element of it is how do we finance it? Because I think we need to move away from the notion that you're going to get a one-hit and bust, as we say in Jamaica. That's not how it works. Yes, you may have somebody score a one-hit here and they explode on the international stage, but what you know is that to make it through, either as an athlete or as a musician or as a filmmaker, it is usually years of work and preparation and networking and getting into the right spaces, and then finally you meet that inflection point, and then you arrive on the stage and people say, welcome to the stage, but not knowing all the work that went in to either build the athlete or build the musician. And so the government is looking at the industry very carefully, and we have actually started to support film, and we have created the Film Fund, which is a $1 billion fund, which we have now used to support several films. One of them would have been the Bob Marley film, The One Love, and the other was James Bond. And there are some other local films that have competed in a sense for support. And so that is one tangible way in which we have supported the creative industries, and we do intend to use that model, similar model, in other areas of the creative industries. And we continue to support our athletes in giving them access to things like insurance and support for stipend during training and so forth. And we are now examining ways in which we can increase our support for our athletes, because we recognize that they have a choice. They obviously would be very proud and want to wear our flag, but at the end of the day, when they come home, they would also want to be able to take care of their children and have a good house and live a good life. And other countries are offering them that. So we're cognizant of that. So we're looking at how we can support our athletes. Of course, the fiscal monetary demands on the government. There are many things to do. So it's about careful consideration involving the public in the discourse, so that when the decisions are made, they don't divide the nation.